Welcome back into another episode of 7 Days to Die's Darkness Falls. We are sitting here in the uh, in our house, and I wanted to talk a little bit about armor before we get into our next thing, which is likely going to be a horde here. I'm still working some stuff up on it, but let's talk about armor. I did this last season. We're going to do it again this season. I'm going to go through first. We're going to talk about full set of plate, full set of powered armor, full set of titanium, and then we're going to go through the mods that I have installed first, and then we'll come back and take a look at overall statistics. So let's talk about what I have installed and why. We're going to actually take a look at the titanium helmet first. I have ablative armor here. Ablative armor is going to give me a 10% damage reduction. 10% reduction of, or not damage, it's going to 10% resistance to fire. So this is just reducing the chance of being set on fire. It doesn't reduce the damage you take. And so with a full set of this, you'll have a 50% reduction. You'll have 50-50 chance of getting set on fire. If you're just fighting a single demon or two, this could keep you from being set on fire and having the damage over time, and it's certainly worthy of being in your armor. During Horde Night, however, it is mostly useless. And the reason I say that is you're hit by so many things that are going to set you on fire that a 50-50 chance is no chance at all of not being set on fire. It is guaranteed you'll be set on fire. Once on fire, you're going to take the damage over time, so this is just taking up a slot. If you were going to make yourself some raid or some horde armor specific, then you might want to consider swapping out the ablative armor. Next is the banded plate armor. This is going to give you +2 in your damage resistance. So the armor rating is a percentage reduction in damage taken. So in this particular case, this one mod will take 2% of the damage I have incoming off. So instead of taking 100 points, I'll take 98 points. A full set reduction reduces by 10% for the mods. The next thing we have installed is the advanced insulated liner. The liner is going to give me some cold resist, 15%. A full set of 5 is going to give me 75% resistance to cold, especially in Darkness Falls 4.1.1. The environmentals have been increased as far as the amount of damage and debuffs you take, so getting into the cold and ending up with frostbite can be quite debilitating. It also has 2% or 2 points of explosion resistance. Explosion resistance works the same way as armor does. So this is a 2% reduction in the amount of damage I'm going to take from any explosion. Full set will give me 10%. The insulated liner will also go into the armor, so you can do the advanced and the regular. And the regular is going to give me another 10%. So when I have a full set on of both of these in my armor, I'll have 125% resist to cold. So that means I'm immune to cold effects. In addition, it has an explosive resistance of 1. This is the actual reason why I put it in here at this point. This is going to give me between these 5, another 5% reduction. So we add that with the advanced, we have 15% reduction on any explosion incoming. The advanced cooling mesh is going to give me 15% or 15 points of heat resistance and again 2% explosion resistance. This is the same discussion as we had with the insulated liner, except that this one's going to be doing heat resistance instead of cold. And again, we can stack the regular cooling mesh with the advanced cooling mesh to gain a total of 125% resistance to heat. So in the desert, I'm immune to heat. In addition to that, I'll have another 15% between these two of explosion resistance, giving me a grand total of 30% reduction. So any explosion that goes off, I will ignore 1/3 of the damage. Each piece is going to have something unique in it. This one is going to be night vision goggles. Night vision goggles is going to be a replacement for any kind of light source, torch, or otherwise. It's passive, so it doesn't add to your visibility. That little eye down in the lower left-hand corner. Using these, I think this is awesome. You can have them on all day and night. I balance wise, I think the night vision goggles should crank up the light a little bit more, especially during the day, so that when I'm walking around, if I have them on, I'm kind of blinded, as you would be with normal night vision goggles. The last thing every piece is going to have is its version of the radiation ready insert. The radiation ready insert is going to give me 20% resistance to radiation in the wasteland. A full set of 5 gives me 100% resistance. So with this, I won't have to worry about taking anti-rad pills or anything like that. So I'm going to put this in here so that I can just walk around into whatever biome I want to. This whole setup right now will give me a really good balanced resistance to all of the environmentals, radiation, heat, cold, and give me a lot of damage resistance as well to the various types of things that are going to be coming at me, explosive or regular damage, or even getting set on fire. If we look at the next piece here, in the arms, it's the same setup from ablative, banded, insulation, all the way down to radiation. The thing I have here special is the watch. The watch is going to give me a timer at the lower, I think that's the lower right or lower left-hand corner, so I know what time of day it is, which is kind of handy if you want to be able to know when the night's going to fall, when the horde's going to come, when the horde's going to be over, when daylight's coming. It's kind of just nice to manage things a bit. When we take a look, the chest plate, the piece that I've put in here is going to be a couple of other things. I've taken out the cooling mesh in favor of the advanced tactical rigging, which is going to give me plus 15 carry. This is going to allow me, along with the skill to open up some of your slots and the backpacks. This will end up giving me all my slots with no encumbrance. So I can load up to the point where I can't pick up anything else and I won't be encumbered. Very handy when you're doing regular type adventuring. In addition to that, I have armored spikes. Armor spikes will cause anything that hits you to bleed. Very handy during Horde Night, especially if you're doing what I'm doing, which is kind of like a melee brawl. I get hit a lot. And having the things that are hitting me bleed just makes it easier for me to kill them later. So this is very valuable for me. If I was going to just make a horde set, I might consider taking out the advanced tactical rigging. But again, because you sometimes pick things up as you go, if you can avoid that, then that's having these slats here where you get encumbered won't be a big deal. In the leg, I'm back to having all of the insulation installed, and then we have the bandolier mod. The bandolier mod is going to give me a 50% faster reload rate on my weapons. So as I'm running around, I'm trying to reload. That'll be handy. Last is going to be my feet. My feet, I'm going to have the impact bracing mod in there as the bonus piece. This is going to reduce fall damage. It's actually quite significant. I have fallen out of a helicopter at altitude and not died. So this is big. So if you can get that in there, definitely put that in. When we look at the power armor modifications, you'll see that I actually have an empty slot. And that is because power armor comes with a couple of things built in, and it doesn't really tell you that in the description. What it gives you is ablative armor. So you can't even put ablative armor into the power armor piece. So this is going to give me a 10% damage resistance to the chance of being set on fire. In addition to that, it gives me the radiation ready bonus. So I'm immune to radiation, 20% resistant to radiation with each piece. All 5, done. So that means I have 2 more slots available. And what I've done is I keep all the normal stuff, but I've added the advanced muffled connectors here to decrease the amount of noise that I make by 10%. And I'll do this whenever I have the extra space. So you can see also in the hand, I'm doing the same sort of thing, except I still have the watch, but I've taken the advanced modified connector there. Here I have the advanced connector again with the advanced tactical rigging. In fact, I should put in the armor spikes. And do I have another set of armor spikes? Armor spikes, I do. Modify UN. Thank you. So there's the armor spikes on that. On the legs, I have the same sort of thing going on as I did before with the banded mod at the bottom. And then, of course, on the feet, I have the impact mods here. So I've created 2 full sets of armor with all of the regular inserts. Now let's take a look at the next piece, which is going to be our stats. When I put this thing on, so if we take a look at my stats over here, look at the trophy. Here you're going to see a few things that are going to be important that we're going to look at. We're going to be looking at armor ratings. See, right now, just walking around naked, I got 10% armor rating. That comes from some of the bonuses that I have on currently from skills that we've got going. No explosive resistance. My armor crit chance is minus 45%. Means basically, if I'm naked, they get a bonus of 45% to doing crit hits to me. Not a good idea to not have armor on. Then we got the healing and stamina regeneration per second. Medical healing per second. That's if you've got like a bandage going or whatever. What was my natural cold resistance with all of my perks? My mobility with all my perks, my jump strength, carry capacity, loot bonus, and there's just some damages in here. Where do these perks come from? There's a variety of items in here for perks. One of the biggest ones is going to be from physical conditioning that I have going, which is going to give me the 2-4 up to 10% of damage resistance. So that's where that 10% came from. It's going to give me 50% on the wellness, and it's going to give me some stamina regen and some increased resistance to cold. Okay. If we looked back over here, the one thing that I didn't mention before is going to be wellness. That's going to be under the here. So there's the wellness. None of the mods will impact your wellness. Food can impact your wellness. So for example, I've got some orange tea here, which will impact my wellness, bringing it up current wellness by 3. So that'll bring me up towards my max. Your maximum wellness and your current wellness should be the same if you're really keeping up with this. So here's my max was 354. My health is currently at 354. This could come down, and this comes down is because I've been hit with crits and the like, and then I have to start eating food again to bring it back up again through the current wellness stat. All right, so let's put on some armor here. We're going to compare what's going on. I'm going to just go ahead and put it all on. You can see how I'm picking up resistance here, radiation resistance. If we look over here, we can start seeing some stats. But let's take a look at another piece here. Here is my comparison. I've got the titanium set and the power set that I put on and took pictures of it and brought it up for you so we can take a look at it. There we go, get a little bit more. So you can see there's no impact on my max health, stamina and here. But if you look at the armor reduction, titanium is going to give me 70% damage reduction. The power armor is going to give me 85%. Now let's flip that. That means I'm going to take 30 or I'm going to take 15. So from that point of view, the power armor is twice as effective as the titanium. So that 15% is actually quite big. So this is pretty good if I'm taking a lot of beatings during Horde Night to reduce the actual amount of incoming damage. The explosion resistance is also a tad bit better. I go from 24 to 30, and that's because we were able to put in place the additional resistance from my... And actually, I should take a look at this real quick. Let's go over here. The explosion resistance, 30, 24. Okay. So this comes built in with 1 extra point of explosion resistance. Hence, the reason the power armor comes with 1 point of explosion resistance built in. Hence the reason why we have additional. So this is going to be 24 versus 30. The armor crit resist is the thing. Titanium gives me a bonus 30% resisting of crits. The titanium or the power armor is 15%. Again, if we flip it, that means that I have 70% more time. Well, actually, yeah. If a crit is going to happen, it's going to happen 70% of the time as opposed to 85% of the time. In this case, because I'm not closer to the end of 100 points, 100%, it can make a difference. But if you're carrying around enough stuff, you may want to consider not worrying about it. So I have in the past felt like if you're going to be brawling out in front, titanium might prove better for you than power because of the additional armor crit resist. My stamina regeneration is a little bit better in the power armor, as you can see here. My resistance, especially heat, will be a little bit better. My mobility is a little bit better because I'm not... the power armor has power assist in it. Basically, the customized fittings mod is one that won't fit in to titanium for me, but is already built in to power. So power armor, again, has built in ablative armor. It has built in 1 point of explosive resistance. It has built in radiation resistance, and it has built in customized fittings. So I'm going to be a little bit quicker on my mobility. The rest of this stuff is unaffected. So between the two, I'm going to go ahead and run now with my power armor on instead of my titanium. Now let's take a look at my weaponry. I have three things that I'm using for weapons primarily. It's going to be the laser carbine, the coiled carbine, and Jason's machete. I found Jason's machete to be stupid good. And the reason it's so good is there's a special ability here. Besides the fact that it ignores 50% armor, because I have the bladed perk, if you look underneath your tree, underneath bladed weapons, knife master, I believe it is. Here the fourth one, life leech, gain 2 points of hit every time you hit something. Get 2 life. That regeneration, when you think about the speed of attack, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's almost 2 points of healing a second, which is quite a bit when you're reducing all your incoming damage by 85%. With this, as long as I don't have any other debuffs going on me at the time, I can pretty much stay top notch with my health, even when I'm getting jumped by a whole horde. We even saw that when we went into the tier 5 bunker pill, when it threw horde-sized mobs at me, actually a little bit larger than horde-sized mobs at me, that I could stand for quite a while. It did push me out, and if you have anything less than this, those are some very dangerous fights. But if we take a look at my current combat power, we have 88 damage. I do pretty much sole power swings because of my stamina regeneration. So I can do 140 points of damage, which would give me some kind of attacks per minute of what? This is 165 attacks per minute. I don't think that's right. That's like 3 swings a second. That feels off a little bit. But you're certainly going to do quite a bit of a damage output, plus you're going to have the regeneration. And in addition to that, I have put in place a number of mods. I've got the serrated blood mod for additional chance to cause bleeding. I've got diamond tip to reduce the amount of durability I take, and including that with the skill that reduces the amount of durability that I take from, I think it's, what's that, laborer, I think? We got the ergonomic, which is going to give me decreased stamina usage and also increase the handling with the bows. But in this case, we're decreasing my stamina usage for every swing. We're also, for below 50%, going to get another hit point every 5 seconds. So if we're thinking that by my swings, I get about 120 hit points a minute, this is going to give me another 30 on top of that. 5, what was that? 12 on top of that. So it's 132 per minute. Because I can, I've thrown in the Gravedigger mod and the Ironbreaker mod. Neither of these are really intended to give me. I'm not. I don't tend to dig, though. Lately, I have been doing more stuff with the Jason's machete because I just don't want to switch weapons. But this is really in here because every mod you put in increases the damage that the weapon will do. I've got the Nightcat in here for shock. This is crowd control. If I shock something, then it's not attacking me. And then we've got the Blessed for additional damage. It's going to do double damage to demons and a bonus of 15 to everybody else. Makes this a very, very effective weapon. In fact, I can pretty much go all night with that. We got the coil rifle, which is going to be your tier below laser. The only thing that this doesn't have is the ability to negate the demon regeneration. So everything else, it's really good against. Again, we've got the serrated, diamond, ergonomic, fortified, graveyard, ironbreaker, just like we did before. I'm just sticking stuff in here to get it going. I could probably swap these things out with like a rod, maybe rod and spring or foregrip or something like that. But I'm really not too worried about it because I'm doing quite a bit of damage. Let me go ahead and move over to that. Where are you? Get out of here. I have to have the weapon equipped. Didn't need to shut that off. I have to have the weapon equipped to be able to see all of the goodies for it. Yeah. Mod. So you can see I do 117 points of damage with each shot. Again, we got the Blessed Metal here. We've got the Nightcat. This is the do damage. This is to do the crowd control of stunning it. Again, we got the Advanced Magazine, which will double my total capacity. So I have 60 instead of... Come here, you. Reload. There we go. So we'll have 60 instead of 30. Then we're going to get into silenced. This is so that I could try to pop things off. I mean, I got somebody here, but you'll notice this guy never even triggered. So I can shoot this without actually summoning every critter in the region. And I see I can do a single shot there. And just watch the noise. I'm at 35. It does pop to 100, but it comes right back down again. Pretty good. And then last, modify back in here. I've got a 4x scope, so I can zoom in on stuff. It might be worth doing more. My only thing is that when I'm running around and I want to aim, I don't want to be at a point where I'm so focused that I can't target what I intended to when I started to zoom. If I'm a little off by this guy and I zoom in, I have to search for him. It's easier with a lower magnification than a higher magnification to suss him out and figure out where he went. Then also we've got the full auto trigger, so I can just hold the thing down and empty the 60 rounds. I've got the rod and spring in here to try to decrease it increases recoil, but it also increases the rate of fire. So I can really start spraying, a little bit of spray and pray. And then we've got the armor shredding here, which is just going to take, reduces the armor by 10% and a stack. So if I hit the same guy a bunch of times, I can get through it. The coil rifle can easily kill a zombie. This is going to be Horde Night here after we're done. If I find a zombie around here, I think I had a crew come by, but they're not here. Yeah, I can power through the zombie regeneration without actually having to disable it. And the regeneration is pretty sick. You. And you're so... Right. I just took this dirt down so I can see what's going on. All right. So that is the coil rifle. Last is now the laser carbine. We haven't used this before because of a lack of just not having enough ammo for it. And I'm starting to make some. But again, here we put the Blessed mod in there. We've got the NICAD in there. We got the armor shredding and advanced magazines in there, just like the other one. We've put in a foregrip on this to allow me to stay a little bit more steady with it. But we still got the full auto and the spring that we had before and the 4X mod. So we pretty much got the same sort of thing that we had in the coil. And let's see if I can find somebody to pick on. Nobody? There should be a group around here somewhere. You know what? There's a group in here. Hello. Of course, because I look at the mods. Ding. Notice I don't have silence on, so. But this, one of the built-in things about a laser rifle is it will suppress laser regeneration or armor demon regeneration. I'll get it. Give me a second. Don't want that. Don't want that. So in that case, especially when you're in a mob like a horde and you're trying to kill things and you're doing a little bit of spraying in there, if you hit a demon with the coil, it will easily regenerate the damage you did before you come back and get them again because of all the other bodies in the way. However, the laser carbine will suspend that regeneration. So the biggest thing for laser is going to be the succubus. The succubus is a flyer. She can get up out of melee range because you can put into your melee weapons, and I think I might even have it over here. No, I don't. In your melee weapons, there we are. That one, you can put in a laser battery. The laser battery is going to give you the ability to stop regeneration. God, I can barely see it there. There you go. Disables demonic regeneration on hit. I don't know if it does on radiated, but I do know it does that. And then Toby's balancing act allows everything to be very, very rare. Increases accuracy and headshot damage for rifles, bows. These rifles, it does mean rifles, not carbines. And I'm using carbines because I need the damage downrange that a rifle won't give. The rifle has a higher damage per shot, but it also has a lower firing rate per minute. So in total, after 1 minute of fire, your carbine will do more damage than the rifle. But if you're trying to sit back and snipe stuff, the rifle will be better. It's the rifle, sniper rifle, stuff like that. All right. So that is the tour of all the goodies. I have to make sure that I have myself set up for a horde. I've got the vitamins, which will help me not just with giving me some additional wellness if I need it, because every crit I take will cause a little bit of loss of wellness, but this will help cure fatigue. That's the reason why I have it. I need the fatigue resistance. It says this is disease resistance too. I don't know if I believe that. We'll try it out. We'll see. I also have the orange tea here because the orange tea is also supposed to help with your disease resistance. It's not listed here, but it is in the files. So there is that. The meat burrito also gives, and again, this is not something you can see until you actually. I'll see if I can eat it, and we'll see if we can pick up the mod. Meat burrito, yeah, 50% increased damage on melee. So if I'm out there swinging at it, that'll be a very good thing. If I drink the tea, good quality orange tea, there we go. Gives me 50% resistance to infection and food poisoning. This does help because every time I do get hit, it could increase my infection. And so cutting that in half is important. I also have some dysentery medicine. So if I've eaten something, gotten dysentery, it's fine. And then I've got the antibiotics to help counteract infections. This doesn't cure. It says it can cure infections. It doesn't cure an infection. It reduces the debuff that you got for an infection. So when you get hit with an infection, it will slowly increase from 0 to 100%. At 100%, you die. So at 60%, you start taking serious statistics debuffs. So all of your stats are going to go down. Your strengths are going to go down. Your intelligence is going to go down. Your skills are going to be disabled. And that's when you. As a matter of fact, that's how I got killed. One of my, I think I died twice in this run. Right? Yep, twice. One of my deaths was in the horde, and I just got overwhelmed by infection before I realized how badly the infection debuffs had been increased in 4.1.1 Darkness Falls. So having this running, which will tick down your infection, so it gives you a negative, a cumulative increase in your antibiotics or in your infection. This will help tick it back down as the zombies are hitting you, ticking you back up. So having the orange tea, cutting that in half is important. And I think maybe even having the vitamins going at the time so you have 100%. And let's go take a look, see if that actually, in fact, does. Vitamins cure fatigue and prevent you from catching ailments like dysentery and fatigue. So it is, I don't think it gives you demonic infection resistance. I think it gives you resistance to, I ate bad food. But we'll still be using that as when we get into this fight. Let's go ahead and load that up. I've got myself also a cast and a splint, so if I need to run off somewhere and take care of that, I can. I have the paramedic kit here. The paramedic kit is going to give me the same. It's going to give me a healing tick over time of 60 points of health. It'll also take care of any bleeding or suture, big, the deep cuts that I have. The first aid kit and the paramedic kit both give you that. The first aid kit is only going to give you 30. The paramedic kit is going to give you 60, so it's a little bit better. And then I have bandages. The bandages are intended to just stop the bleeding. They also have a little bit of boost on health. I will take a bunch of these, and I'll probably stick them all in my robotic drone. And with the mod here for first aid, it'll give me healing as I go. It usually does one like every 30 seconds or so. It's not game changing, but it's just another one thing to stack. You could also put in, if you've got a lot of the first aid kits, you can also put in first aid kits on this, and it'll spit out first aid kits. So he'll do regular bandage, or I think he'll do herbal bandages, first aid bandages, or first aid kits. So I might actually do that. I might actually take this stack and put it in the drone. The drone will last through most of the night. All right, and then I have a lot of power. So there's no problem there. I've got stacks of that. In fact, is there a stack of... No? So you can't box up the power? Okay, that's fine. All right. So that's the full tour of what we're going to hit this day 84 mess with the game stage of 536. I think max is 700, so we're pretty close to max. So we'll see how that goes. Come back and join me. Well, actually, don't come back and join me. I'm going to cut on over to that after I cut this stuff up and put it into a little piece. And we'll do the Horde Night. In fact, I think we'll be come back and see the Horde. Next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.
Creeping through the shadows in the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a